What's up, guys? Welcome back to the shop. Welcome back to the channel. Today is the day. We're getting started on Junkyard Dog. Finally. Got a little bit of time, a little bit of breathing room for the winter. Can't tell today. It's beautiful outside, about 40 degrees, sun shining. Love it. T-shirt weather. All right, anyway, so as I talked about last week and the week before, we were getting ready to combine Homer and Junkyard Dog into one functioning Burnout car. For those of you that are new to the channel, Junkyard Dog was Homer was the reason that I essentially started this channel to build a twin supercharged 76 Chrysler Cordoba Burnout car slash drag car slash road course car slash whatever I wanted to do with the car. Then a couple years later came along Junkyard Dog. I bought Junkyard Dog as a parts car for Homer. Junkyard Dog has a 727, the 9 1/4 rear. Just a better setup than what Homer came with. Homer came with an 8 1/4 with a 904. And after some thinking and back and forth, I'm gonna lose a lot of time that I put into prettying Homer's front end up, the Willwood brakes, this new engine, the whole smashing to getting it kind of set up. But I think in the end, I'm gonna save a little more time with just transferring all the new parts, the new engine and all, over into Junkyard Dog, and taking the good parts that are off Homer that I destroyed on Junkyard Dog back at Cleetus and Cars Indy, and making one functional car and then get rid of the rest. So today I'm gonna start with the passenger door. I'm gonna go ahead and get it swapped out over on the Junkyard Dog. This door skin will save, just kind of like wall art in the shop, because the artwork on Junkyard Dog is gonna change. Essentially, even if we may or may not change the name of the car, just give it an entirely different name. It's gonna be an entirely different car. It's not gonna be Homer, it's not gonna be Junkyard Dog. Man, that's where we'll look out to you guys. Put in the comments below what you think we ought to name the new car. You want to wait and see what he kind of looks like when he's done, then try to name it. I mean, shoot, we named Alice. We let the subscribers name Alice, remember? So I'm gonna get that door done today, and I want to get this whole back section here started. Still a little bit off after hitting the wall here, but I think some of that is going to be the deck lid itself, and some of it is going to be the frame. So we'll kind of get everything off here, with the exception of the deck lid, and then we'll just try to get it somewhat straight before we put all the new parts on here. Because I have all of Homer's rear section that goes here for Junkyard Dog sitting over there on a shelf. Once we get all that straightened up, we're going to kind of pull some of these dents out, one on the other side. And then this front clip that I destroyed by hitting the wall at Indy in the front like an idiot. I have a front clip off Homer here that we'll replace that with. And I actually think that this front end is a little more sexy. It's got the round headlights. It looks a lot better to me than the squares. So I think it's ultimately going to improve the look of the car. And then that hood's going to go, because I'm not entirely sure if we're going to stick with the stacks. I'd like to have something that runs out the fender, or out of the fender sides, to be honest with you. We'll figure that out. But I also have Homer's hood over there, which is in good shape, plus new bumpers, new grill. Well, they're not new, they're Homer's. All of the stuff off him to put on here. So essentially, it's going to be Homer, just not Homer. I'd even kicked around maybe painting the car to look like Homer, but then it's still not Homer, right? Even if we'd done the name Homer 2.0, Homer and a half, whatever. I don't know, it's just not going to be the same. But at the end of the day, we're going to make one cool car one way or the other. So, yep, that's it. So if you haven't done it yet, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for this series. It's probably going to be 4 or 5 videos long, you know, because we're going to have to gut the interior and do some other things. But for today, with it being a beautiful day, I'm going to start with getting this door off here And these things weigh a ton. I mean, this is essentially a Prius right here. I mean, they are extremely heavy. It's just 4 bolts. We'll just snip these wires off. We're not gonna need those. And do the same to Homer's and just bring it right over here and put it on. And this one we're gonna keep. And you know, for wall art, like I said, just because this was the original artwork for this car. And then we'll get started on this mess and we'll kind of go from there. This is gonna be fun. I've been looking forward to this. Actually, both these projects for a couple years now, but other cars and events have just kind of slowed that down, and I'm not complaining. I'm truly not. I have fun regardless which one I'm working on. But nevertheless, let's get after it. This is Busted Radio Garage. All right, guys, I got Junkyard Dog's door off. Pretty simple removal. It's just 5 bolts, 2 up top, 3 at the bottom. I was an idiot and forgot to hit record when I done that. So, but anyway, here's the passenger side door just sitting here on the shop floor. Again, I'm gonna hold on to this, whether it's the whole door or just the skin, you know, just kind of like some wall art. And I've got a ton of wall down here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and pull Homer's passenger side door off. It's the same platform. Everything should bolt right back up. So yeah, pull these 5 bolts out, tote this thing over there, weighs about 100 pounds. I'm just gonna set it right back up on top of this box and it should line right back up at the bolt holes. We'll bolt it on, test it up, make sure she's gonna shut fine, and then we're gonna get started on this mess. This is gonna take a little longer. I mean, it's really not that bad. It's, well, here's what's left of Junkyard Dog's trunk. This is what Homer's looked like when I bought Homer. Put a new pan in and everything. It's just, anyway, it's just a few bolts here and there. Same thing on this side, few bolts, a little bit of wiring. And this, you know, all these just slide out. This slides out. Obviously, I'm gonna have to do some massaging to get this all straightened back out. Get that bumper off, see what the deal is. I mean, I busted all of this. So, get this straightened back out, get Homer's rear end put on here. Not sure if we're gonna need his trunk or his deck lid, whatever you all call it, near neck of the woods. A boot, I don't know. Then we'll start on the front, get the front clip, and then we're gonna start on the engine, get all that done. Again, this is fast forwarded a lot. I mean, that's a couple weeks down the road, but I'm just gonna hammer down. I just want to get this car done. I'm so excited to drive it. I had a ball with it in Indy, fell in love with the car in Indy. But we're just gonna class her up a little bit. All right, give me a few minutes. I'm gonna get over here, get Homer's door off. We'll get it put on over here. And we're gonna keep getting after it. Hang tight. All right, guys, got Homer's passenger side door off. It's amazing how clean he was up in there. It almost just breaks my heart to do this, but it's gonna be a good shell. I think I'm doing the right thing, so I'm gonna stick with it. But got his new door over here just kind of hung on Junkyard Dog. I've got my stool kind of helping me as a prop. All right, it's actually a toolbox slash like stool, yeah. But anywho, so got 2 bolts kind of started here to hold it in place. I'm gonna go ahead and get the bottom one started, and then we'll get these tightened down. We'll go ahead and just, you know, do a test shut, make sure it's gonna hit the striker okay. Do our final adjustments, and this door will be done. Not entirely sure to do with the door cards or the interior yet. I'm not 100% for sure. May just take the interior off that door and put it back in here, and then put that on that, or put this inside Homer, because I'm keeping that door over there, like I've said before. But give me a few minutes to get this bolted in, and then we'll go from there. All right, boys and girls, there she is. We got this door replaced. We can actually use it, open and shut it. And just a slight color difference. But I think it's all gonna look slick once we get the doghouse and the hood on's all gonna match. And then we'll have, you know, this rear section and maybe the deck lid. And he'll be like half green, half white. I think it's just gonna look really cool. And then once we get the new name figured out and get the decals put on, new wheels, new tires, I think it's gonna be really slick. And then with that better nose, I think that nose over there with the round headlights is gonna look a lot more nice. That sounded like really jakey, didn't it? I think it's gonna look a lot better with that nose on here. So we're gonna keep getting after it. It is actually Thanksgiving Day. By the way, happy Thanksgiving to all you out there watching this today, or this weekend, or a year from now. Happy Thanksgiving. So I got a couple more hours to play around here, and then I gotta go hang out with the fam. So I'm gonna keep getting after it. I'm gonna see if I can get some of this done today. And but I think that looks really cool. All right, hang tight. There's that piece gone. All right, guys. Well, the donkeys are saying hello. Ain't no one talking to no donkeys today. All right. As you see, we got the taillight assemblies, filler panel out behind the bumper. It's gone. It looks like I know we've got a little bit of damage to the frame. I got under there and looked. But the majority of it is going to be in the bumper brackets themselves. So here's one, and the other one is here. This is the toe strap. From when I got back, I was trying to straighten it out a little bit. Nevertheless, it appears that they are the same thing that Homer has, and Homers are good. So we've got both the brackets there. So what I may just do is just cut this off. Cut this whole bumper off and let it hit the ground. And then I'm gonna have to really get in there and either cut these bolts or PB blast the dickens out of them to get those out. I'll switch Homer's brackets. We'll get those cleaned up a little bit, put those in, and then mount Homer's bumper. Kind of see where the rest of this falls. Maybe massage it back into place. I know we're kind of twisted in here. This here looks pretty good. So kind of get everything, massage it back in, and then we'll get Homer's entire tail section put back on the car. I know we're gonna have to do some finagling to get it square, but it's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is a burnout car, not a show car. Once we get that done, and then we'll start working our way up front and start getting ready for this engine swap. I'd really like to know what everybody's thoughts. What would you like me to do about the stacks? Do you think we ought to keep them? We can take the new hood and de-skin underneath it to make it to where it's not so heavy, and just use the top, and we'll run 4 pins, you know what I mean, where we can just lift the hood off and leave the stacks. Or do you think we ought to run something out the side of the fender here for the burnout competition, or just straight exhaust rather? It doesn't matter. I don't know. Those are kind of cool, but a lot of people are starting to use those now. So I don't want to be like everybody else, right? So comment below, let me know what you think about that. In the meantime, I'm gonna get back after it on this. I'm kind of running out of time. Gonna go have dinner with the family, the in-laws, extended family, so on and so forth. But for the next 5 days, this is what I'm gonna be doing when I'm not with family, is working on this car and getting him ready. I think I've got something broke in the rear end. We'll have to check on that, but we'll get it fixed. Linda's about done. I'll have some updates for her, for you, by the end of this video, because this video is gonna be the process of the next couple of days. So we'll get an update on that. We got to get her clean and put away for the winter, and start getting after the rest of this mess. But all right, let's get after it. There she went, by guy. Sometimes you just gotta have a chat with them and say, this is how it's gonna be today. All right, let's get this old girl on the ground. Probably not gonna be pretty, but we're gonna get her on the ground. Boom. That's a 300-pound boat anchor. So we'll get this drug over there now, out of the way, because that's going out of here. We'll clean the rest of this up here, but here's what I wanted to see, really. I think it done more damage to, oh, excuse me, the bumper, I guess bumper towers, I guess for lack of a better word at this moment, but these are all shifted over, so I'm thinking I'll go ahead and take these off on both sides, and I'll go over and get Homer's off him and put them on here, and we'll see what little adjustments we need to make. We may just be able to adjust these to get it to look good enough and call it a day and start putting this back together. Well, for crying out loud. Get out here. Ah, lovely. All right, well, I've got one more bolt I gotta get off the frame rail here. I didn't know that was there till just right this second. And that thing is a hoss cat. Might be torching that one off. And that's not good because I don't have Homer's off him either. So I'm gonna have to maybe torch these off and torch Homer's off. I'd rather not do that. I might end up having to make some brackets and weld them to the frame. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be able to save all 4 of those. But I don't have a choice. I'm going to have to hang up, well, I don't necessarily have to hang a bumper. I could build a bash bar. But I'm not necessarily sure how that's going to look with the taillight housings that go on here. I'll show you what one of them look like real quick. So I took one of Homer's. Let me get it. I guess I could have a bash bar built all together, but Homer's were Junkyard Dog. Let me turn this up here. Junkyard Dogs were fiberglass. Homer's are metal. And they actually mount right here, and then you have your tail lights, your marker lights, and all that. I could build a bash bar here. I think it'd just look a lot better with the bumper. But we're gonna have to get those out and get Homer's out and then transfer them over to here, and that's gonna be fun. A lot of PB blaster and a lot of torch and what have you, but let's stay after it. All right, there's the last of them. So, the only option I've got left now is to get in there and take these 2 bolts. I'll take you down there and show you. And what bums me the most about these is there's going to be lockers inside the frame, or catch bolts. So, I don't know if you can see it, but these 2 1-inch bolts here, or 1 1/8. Got one on this side and one over there, and that attaches this essentially bumper shock assembly to the frame. And this frame right here is sketchy to begin with. And seeing if I can get this off there is going to be fun. So there's only one way to find out, and that's just to do it. So Let me get a big old honking wrench and see if we can get those broke loose without a breaker bar. I think I can get a breaker bar maybe on this side because, you know, there's no trunk pan at all. Over there, I'm not sure. I'll have to figure it out in a second. But let me get a wrench and see what I can do. All right, guys, we're moving right on along. So we got the bumper brackets out from attached to the frame rail. And those were an absolute nightmare to remove, but we got them out. And here they are. And these are designed to crush within themselves in an impact. And you can see how hard the driver's side was crushed up inside itself versus the passenger side. So those are out of here. So got to get these removed from Homer, which I'm sure are going to be equally as a pain in the butt. So I went ahead and tried test fitting some of Homer's parts, and these fit like a champ. So we've got the taillight inserts installed. They're just rough installed onto Junkyard Dog, but it kind of gives you the idea. And I think the 76 setup is just a lot more beautiful than the 78. It's just, they took a little more time. That and these are steel, and the ones that we took off of Junkyard Dog are plastic or fiberglass. So this is definitely going to give us a little more rigidness, if that makes sense, to the back of Junkyard Dog. Or we're just going to rename the whole car, if I'm being honest with you. Put it down in the comments below what you think, what you're thinking, and we'll kind of maybe do a poll like we've done in the past. But anyhow, so once I get this kind of set up, I'm gonna leave everything loose, and we're still gonna have to draw this over a little bit, and we'll do that with the winch on the trailer. But you can kind of see here is where she starts to make the turnover right on the tip of the frame. So that shouldn't be too big of a deal to draw back out. I mean, especially with no floor back here to fight it. So I think we're gonna be in pretty good shape. So I'm just tickled with the progress. So we're gonna get the new bumper bracket, or the bumper brackets off Homer, bring them over here, and we'll be able to mount the bumper, get it on. And then this kind of just goes together like a jigsaw puzzle. So there'll be an insert that's still... Sorry, I lost battery, so I had to put a new one in. But anyway, so we're going to remount the bumper, and then the inserts will go in this slot, and then these will mount over those inserts. And then there's covers that go over the top, or a filler panel in here. And this will just kind of build itself back to being nice. I'm not sure if I want to leave Junkyard Dog's trunk deck lid or put Homer's on. Either way, I'm going to save on one or the other. I just think just to kind of leave as much a Junkyard Dog as I can, I'll save this. There's nothing wrong with it. I do have some hinge issues here where this is kind of bent. So I might put Homer's on and then save this for a replacement. But tickled with the progress. I cannot wait to get that nose, this front nose and front clip replaced. This is just going to look totally different with that one on over there. That's just so much more elegant in my opinion. And then we'll just keep plugging away, but this is going to turn out really cool. We get that done, and we're going to start on this beast, and I cannot wait to get that put in there. All right, guys, I think I was able to get these popped loose here. These actually weren't, I spoke too soon. I was gonna say these weren't too bad. This one's not wanting to. That one's not wanting to come loose. I'll pop him out here in a second, but here's the passenger side for Junkyard Dog. We'll set that right there. Let's go see if we can get this one off Homer for the driver's side. I'm not sure why that one's being a bear here. I had to cut two of the bolts, but I don't want to dent this up too bad. All right, we got it out of there. We had to have a chat off camera, but here is the driver's side now. So we will get these mounted back in Junkyard Dog, and then hopefully I'll have to go get some help from up at the house, get the wife or my granddaughter down here, because we're gonna have to get that big old massive 300-pound rear bumper off that top shelf up there and get it down here where we can mount it. And I am not gonna be able to do that by myself, so we will get her figured out. So give me a minute to get these mounted back in here. I gotta go through this weight reduction that's all over the floor and find the bolts for these. But cool, progress. Keep pecking along here. That's probably gonna be the end of this episode. It's getting rather late in the tooth here, and gotta go up and get something to feed the old fat belly. But this is probably gonna be, like I said, a 3 or 4 part series on getting this car swapped over and merging these two into one. But pretty good first day. I'm tickled with it. And if you haven't done it yet, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if this is something that's has some interest for you. And make sure to go down through our other playlist. There's like 150, 160 videos there. Some really, really cool stuff. And for those of you that are new to the channel, if you want some free stickers, send me over an email to bustedradiogarage@gmail.com. With your information, I'll shoot them out to you. And remember, we're going back to our lives every week as well. Free giveaways every week. And to those that won, we'll ship you some stuff out, anywhere from tools to shirts to hats to license plates to you name it. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.